They'll blanket you in Wi-Fi and profit off the radiation. Congregation collecting the people for that Satan. I keeps it blazing, cause I can read between the lines. I ain't blind, we unwind what they're really saying. Genetically modify what you're tasting. Loan you that college promise, so now you live up in your mom's basement. Redesign time so your mind is always wasted. Programmed to crave the basics. Keep the beta in stasis. Pay the state, kid. You're in debt for being born. Messengers are more than just the price for being warned. Don't be alarmed, disconnect from their machinations. Stop subscribing to the folly of all nations. Bone breaking ain't the answer, cause they seek the ownership of souls. Spread the seeds and watch them grow. Break the chains of control. Break the chains of control.
Sweet eternal balance of all that is good, true, and beautiful. Friends, welcome back. If you were here earlier, if you weren't here earlier, welcome in the first place. It's Halloween. We're celebrating. Welcome to Rogue Ways. I am excited to be here with you. We have so much fun things to do today. What's up, Ryan Peterson in the chat? It's good to see you. You may want to know, I'll be repeating this throughout the episode for people who come and go, but anybody who gives a super chat today, that super chat money will go straight into the Compassion Fund. This is basically the episode for the last final hurrah for the Compassion Fund, getting that going and getting it substantial so that we can support our community. And so if you give a super chat today, right now, for example, then that will go straight into the Compassion Fund. It will also enter you into the drawing to win the prizes. So super chats go into the Compassion Fund. Also, anybody who subscribes at rogue.locals.com at the $10 level or higher, that goes into the Compassion Fund. Well, actually, any subscriptions this month all go into the Compassion Fund, by the way. So even if you're at the $2 level, you just wouldn't get entered to win the prize. And that's only because I want to at least cover my shipping costs for the prizes. So $10 minimum will get you into the Compassion Fund. So there's actually 3 ways that you can donate to the Compassion Fund and get possible prizes, which I'll remind you what the prizes are. And today's the last day to do any of that. So you could super chat right now. You can go subscribe at rogue.locals.com right here. There's also a link in the description for $10 or more, or you can donate straight up, just donate to the Compassion Fund at paypal.me/Corey Sharman. Might be the best way. There's no middleman that way. Nobody's taken any cuts of it. And so I will throw those couple of links in the chat. I wonder if everybody's out having a fun Halloween. PayPal.me/Corey Sharman is my name. And so if you want to donate to the Compassion Fund that way, you can too. If you don't want to donate to the Compassion Fund, but you just want to buy stuff, you can also still do that. I'm still doing tarot readings. I still have books for sale. I still have Sine Curve. I still have Earth. These are also both available on Amazon, so you can also buy it that way. There's still a lot available to you. I just am excited about the Compassion Fund. I'm excited about us supporting our community, and so I wanted to make sure that we try to give it a last hurrah. Alas, there are 5 people watching and 1 person chatting. So, you know, we'll see if people come and party with us for Halloween and try to add to the Compassion Fund. I really basically just grew out of 2 things. One for me is I don't want anyone to be left behind. If there's somebody who wants a tarot reading or wants a guidance sessions with me and doesn't have any fundage, I really want them to be able to still be able to access that. And so the Compassion Fund idea grew out of that. But I also, you know, I manage a few communities of people, and sometimes there's somebody in our community who is in need. And so the Compassion Fund would also be for that. You know, if they don't need a tarot reading or guidance, but they maybe need like a toaster or something, you know, something very practical, then we can use the Compassion Fund for that as well. So it's really 2-pronged. I just want to be able to support people who need it, and especially in this time, a lot of people are feeling a little bit needy, and that's okay. That's why we're here for each other, so we can have each other's back. And if we all do it together, then no one person is burdened too much, and that is the idea. And look, I have the Goddess of Compassion right behind me. Kuan Yin. Kuan Yin supports all of us in compassion. I actually got this from a fan of the show and a guest on the show, Emily Atwood. She sent this to me, and it's such a beautiful gift. Thank you so much, Emily. And go watch the episode with Emily, and she's actually coming back next month, so you can see her again. Oh, look, Ryan Peterson gave to the Compassion Fund. I'm writing your name down. one more person on the list. Thank you, Ryan Peterson. So, and Ryan Peterson is a longtime friend of the show. So thank you so much, Ryan, for helping out with the Compassion Fund. I love it. It's awesome. Can I throw it up here? Yeah. I can throw up chats now too, which is fun. So this is a new setup for me, but I'm hoping it's similar. I got the same intro music. We're still gonna have outro music, and everything will be the same for you guys, except a few fun little perks. But what's up, Mateo in the house tonight? We got 4 World Peas. We got Jeremy Harbin. Nice to see you guys. You guys are already giving out candy. I don't even know that we are going to have anybody who comes to our house. We don't have Halloween decorations because we're just those type of people. And we don't have any candy. We'd have like apples for them. We'd be like the worst house to trick or treat at, and people were going to egg us probably. But I don't think we got anybody last year either, and there wasn't even COVID then, so I don't think that we're going to get anybody. I didn't know that chat would just stay there. Interesting. Okay, so hopefully the chats move along at some point. Anyway, blessings back at you, 4 World Peas. Nice to see you. Yeah, tell me if you guys are giving out candy tonight. Turns out Jeremy Harbin is already almost out of candy. That's amazing. 8 years of no trick-or-treaters, 4 World Peas says. Nice. That's pretty. I was telling someone, maybe I was telling you guys, I don't know, but I was telling someone, like, I don't know if I've ever given out Halloween candy. By the way, these are fire. I mean, they're fire like through a condom. They're really good as far as water with just flavor and no calories goes. Coconut is my favorite. But I want to remind you guys of the gifts you can get if you are going to do oh, there we go. I figured out how to take the chat off. If we are going to contribute, and we have one person who already contributed tonight, Ryan Peterson, thank you so much. So you're in the running for the Compassion Fund gifts, but I want to remind you guys of what the gifts are because they're rad. Uh-oh. Oh, there they are. So first off, if you have a lovely lady in your life, or you are a lovely lady, or you're a man who likes to wear earrings, we have these, my favorite orgone that I make, all of which are very powerful, are the earrings, because you get 2 and they're awesome and people like them. I get compliments on these, not these, I have my own, but on these types of earrings when I wear them, people are like, what are those? They're so cool. Like, they're rad. So they're orgone energy. You can wear them on your head, and if you're a dude and you win those and you don't wear earrings, you don't have someone you want to give these to, you can just hang a piece here and a piece there. You can just have 2 pieces of orgone. These are normally $25, I think, on the site. And they are going to go for free to somebody from the Compassion Fund giveaway. So if you want to enter to win these and also support your community, you can go right now to paypal.me/Corey Sharman. Donate. You can go to rogue.locals.com and become a subscriber at $10 or more. Or you can super chat right now. Those are 3 ways that you can win to enter those earrings. You also can do the orgone plaque. I have 1 piece of orgone plaque that I am giving away. These are also very powerful energy. This is meant to be more of like an art piece, so you wouldn't necessarily wear it, but you could put it on your wall, or I set mine kind of up on my bookshelf, and they just sit there. Some people put them out in their garden if you want some good energy accumulation out there, help your plants out. You can do any of those things. They're just pretty thin. This 1 piece is called Emerging Lily, I think, or no, it's just called Emerge. And Emerge is normally going to be $30. And again, you can get it for whatever you donate in the Compassion Fund tonight. So we already have people who've been donating for the last few weeks. And then tonight is our last push to get the Halloween, end of October, full moon, blue moon, full blue moon tonight. Get all that energy into our Compassion Fund so we can get excellent help for people who might need some support. So again, this Orgonite plaque, any price really, can be yours if you donate. PayPal.me/Corey Sharman, rogue.locals.com, become a supporter, or super chat right now. All of it's going into the Compassion Fund. We've got 4 World Peas Dentists should be promoting trick or treats. Good for business. Oh, Caroline actually has a pair of these earrings, the Orgonite earrings. That is so cool. I'm so glad that someone who actually has these is in the chat right now. Thank you, Carolina. Yes, so you can attest to how powerful energy they are, how good they are at accumulating that energy, and how beautiful they are. I'm glad that you like them. And they're really cheap. I honestly dare you to go find Orgone anywhere that is as cheap as the Orgonite that I make, which you can also just skip the drawing and go buy some on the site, rogueways.org. But not only the cheapest, I want to say it's some of the best. Like, I honestly have had people who are, you know, medium psychics, shamanic type people, energetically sensitive people who encounter my Orgonite and they're like, whoa. And I told this story before, but when I started making it, I was like, I don't know, I'll just like try this. I like to get crafty. I like to make things. I'm kind of artistic. So Orgonite is fun. And I don't see a lot of people making the types I make of like, you know, wearable necklace and art oriented ones. It's more of those like really cool pyramids and those types of things. So I wanted to make it a little different. And so I made it, and I expected it to kind of be like shitty and maybe not the best Orgone in the world. And I made it, and not only was I like, wow, those turned out really beautiful looking. Like I think they're pretty cool looking. But also that night, in one of my meditations, my guide came to me and was like, those are way more powerful than you think they are. Like, you put way more good energy and like made a channel for way more good energy to come into those than you even know. And I was like, oh, well, cool. Like, so now that I know that, imagine how much better each batch gets now that I know what I'm actually doing. Pretty cool. So if you want some of those Orgone pieces and you want to get it on the cheap, or just some, you know, for some like virtue, then you can donate to the Compassion Fund and have some, right? Or you can go to the site and buy it. But anyway, the next prize that you can also get with the Compassion Fund is the Greatest Forgiveness book. And I just want to point out that this isn't just a really cool book as far as like spiritual books go, or sort of, it's like sort of self-help, I guess, but it's not as maybe cheesy as that feels to say out loud. But, you know, this guy who wrote this is a doctor, a medical doctor. He's also a master of his spiritual practices. You know, in his martial arts practices, he's actually a master of a lot of different things. He's a very accomplished, amazing polymath. And so he's written this book to help people find forgiveness. And forgiveness is really important for all of us. I don't know if you've ever had like someone in your life hurt you very deeply, but probably if you're like any of us. I, for example, had a really, really horrible fiance who cheated on me with like, I don't even know how many people when I look back at it, was horribly abusive and just a really dark time in my life. And so when I finally like got out of that and was like, holy shit, like what happened? Like what happened? I hated him. I was like, what a piece of shit. Like I loved him, you know, like all the things we go through when we realize how badly we've been treated. I carried around this hate, like, I mean, hate. Like, I was like, I hope you're tortured to death. Like, you're the worst kind of human. This hate. And for a long time, I carried that around. And one day I heard that, you know, it's a saying I think a lot of us have encountered at this point. And if you haven't, I'm about to butcher it for you. But it's something like, you know, if somebody gives you a gift, you know, you take it, now it's yours. But if somebody gives you a gift and they don't take it, who has it? You have it. So I'm like, I have this hate, this gift to him. He's not going to take it. He's not going to like take my hate from me. So who has the hate? Like, I have the hate. Like, I'm hating myself, really, right? Even though that's not what you're doing in your mind, that hate is like affecting you. It's eating you up. And I was like, holy shit, like, I don't want that energy. I don't want to carry this around. He did enough harm to me. I don't want it to continue to harm me, but really now I'm doing it to myself. So forgiveness, right? The only way to get rid of that is forgiveness. And this book is not what I encountered to help me get rid of it at that time, but this book is something that anyone can use if you're struggling with how to forgive somebody who has harmed you. Because like I said, no matter who it is and no matter what they did, if you're still carrying that around and you still feel that anger, that hate for them, you're feeding into that energy. You're reharming yourself that whole time. So forgiveness is really important for all of us, actually. And this book not only talks about like how you can experience forgiveness, you can forgive yourself, you can forgive others, you can have others forgive you, and you can do this all on like a spiritual sort of level, and it's very healing. But it actually has this calligraphy, and if you're into it and you understand how intentions work and how maybe quantum physics ties into these things, and how any sort of practice with any intention behind it is going to help you, then you can actually trace this calligraphy, which is about forgiveness, and you're bringing the energy of forgiveness into your consciousness and into your experience. And so this is actually like many practices in this book, but there's one really cool practice, which I like, is that calligraphy practice. So there's actually 2 of those. If you want to win these, then you can donate right now, paypal.me/Corey Sharman. You can subscribe at rogue.locals.com. Any level of subscription gets added to the Compassion Fund for this entire month, but $10 or more gets you entered to win for the Compassion Fund. So please consider doing that. Or you can super chat right now. And if you super chat right now, then you also get into the Compassion Fund. So any of those ways gets the Compassion Fund bigger, helps your community, and gets you these super cool prizes. Again, I've been telling you the values, right? We had like 25, I think, for the earrings is what I usually do. 30 for the plaque is what I usually do. Plus shipping, right? It's getting shipped to you for free as well. And these books are listed at $13 each. So $13 price point there. And I'll show you the next prize after I see who's in the chat again. Hello, a little too spicy's here. I'm a little bit behind, forgive me. And we have Isaiah S. has also come. Shalom, shalom, Isaiah. Oh no, Jeremy's got cloud cover for this moon that's coming. You know what's crazy? I just looked out and I realized, no, I hope they're not blocking the moon from us, because I've had clear skies all day and I was just expecting to be able to see the full moon. Now you got me wondering. We'll visualize full moon. Visualize full moon. We'll all get to see the full moon. The blue moon. It's a special Halloween blue moon. I heard it hasn't been a blue moon or even a full moon on Halloween since 1944. So that's a long time. So it's a special day for every reason. We've got Halloween, we've got blue moon energy, we've got Compassion Fund, final day for the Compassion Fund. We have until midnight tonight to get the Compassion Fund and get your entries in to win. So we've got, I don't remember. I think we're at 10 people in the Compassion Fund giveaway right now. And I think we're at, I don't remember. Sorry. I think we're at like $130, which is rad. That means our community has raised that much money for people in need. I love you guys. You're so awesome. So yeah, I think I caught up with the chat. The next prize, if you want to win it, is Everything You Know Is Wrong. Everything You Know Is Wrong is this awesome, it's almost like the beginner's guide to all conspiracies, but also the experts like guide to all the references you want to tell people, like all the details you want to remember. Like this book is freaking awesome. I actually can't even really believe I'm giving it away. And just so you know, if you're like, wait, how do I make sure I win one gift or the other? Anybody who donates, you can just mention that you want a specific one and I'll put you only in the drawing for that one. Otherwise, you're in the drawing for all of them, if that makes sense. So just let me know if there's one that you really want to win over the others. But this book is from 2003, Disinfo. It's the Disinfo guide. Disinfo used to be like the site. I don't know if you guys remember this, but back in like 2003, Disinfo was like the site to go to for questioning the mainstream narrative about anything. And maybe they still are. Actually, I want to go right now and see, because I haven't even looked for, I think I did look like a while ago and it was gone. Disinfo.com. No, it's not. It's dead. So it was the site to go to. I don't even know when it ended. I have to go to the archive.com and the Wayback Machine and figure out when it stopped, but I'm not sure. But man, blast from the past. So I don't even know if you can get this book anymore. Maybe I shouldn't even give this away, dude. But I will if you guys are entering to win it. But so this book has everything. Let me let me just give you, plus awesome design. I'll give you the rundown on some of the things in this book. It's so freaking rad. I should look up some of these people in here and see if they want to come on Rogue too. Talk about how awesome Disinfo was and still is, really just, I guess, not a site anymore. We've got drug companies selling hard, selling fast, counting the bodies later. That was by Arianna Huffington back in the day, way before she was ever Huffington Post. The Vatican Bank, antitrust, dirty money, global banking, senators murdering people and covering it up, the Olympic industry and how it's based on occult rituals. So rad. The European Union. I don't know if I'm going to give this away, actually. I'll tell you this. If somebody donates at a high enough level, I will give them this, but I'm just now convincing myself to keep it. Nobody's, though, and the only reason I'm saying that is because nobody so far who's donated has designated this book as like the thing they really want. So unless somebody does at a pretty high level, maybe I'm not going to give this one up. The serial killers being fake. I mean, this is old school shit. The Monster of Florence, I don't know what that is. Columbine being faked. Charlie Manson being constructed. One I've never heard of even. I don't know how I haven't read that one yet. Cops as gangsters. Bioterrorism, creating perfect pathogens. The conspiracy to turn us into all vegans. Mental illness being something, it's like the conspiracy is sort of that like mental illness is like there is mental illness, but we've turned it into an industry so that we can make money off people, basically, and that like we've constructed and created mental illness. For World Peace says, I wish I would have known about this book 10 years ago. It might have saved thousands of hours of research on the internet to learn these truths. And what's up, Gregory May is in the chat. He's here for us. Yeah, no, this book is a treasure trove of information. We've got how pornography is used intentionally to destroy society. Myths about how youth are like awful, horrible people and how youth are actually should be our like treasures. How domestic violence is mischaracterized as something that men do to women. Like this is way before most of the shit you've heard talk. I bet most people who do shows like this use this book as like, all right, what should I do this week? And just like find one, which I've never done actually, weirdly. But I mean, this was part of my bread and butter way back when I was like 18, 19, whatever I was, looking into this stuff and being like, holy shit, the whole world is fucked. Jeremy Harbin says, mental illness to me isn't actually the person's fault. It totally comes from spirits and beings that are around us or plugged into us in a way. Yeah, I'm totally with you that Jerry Marzinski, you know, came on the show and talked about his evidence for that being true. I have my own experiences, both with myself, you know, understanding the spiritual entities that are attacking me that create experiences that mimic mental illness and make you question yourself and your sanity. And that's kind of the point. Give up your sovereignty and they get in even more. And then I also have experience of seeing it on people. You know, I see auras, people's auras, and people's auras are awesome. And seeing entities interact with the auras is very, very clear. And so I can actually see when people who are giving signs of mental illness have these dark entities literally like on them and around them and affecting them. And it's pretty disgusting. So I have all the evidence I need that these things are absolutely other entities. And that doesn't mean it's not real. It means it's very real, right? And medication does seem to help some people for whatever reason. And honestly, I think it's because it suppresses the symptoms. But it doesn't mean it got rid of the entities. So I do think it's a spiritual issue. And the name of the book is Everything You Need Know Is Wrong, and you can win it if you donate. I haven't even decided because now I'm getting kind of reattached to it. There wasn't a limit before. There wasn't an amount you had to donate, but I'm going to say if you want this book specifically, that you're going to have to donate at least $30 to the Compassion Fund. So we'll go with that. So that's at paypal.me/Corey Sharman. I should have put that link in the show notes, and for some reason I didn't, but I'll type it again. Or you can also super chat right now, or you can go to rogue.locals.com and become a supporter. And any of those can get you this or any of the other prizes that I've gone through tonight. And if you want a specific one, like if you're really hankering for this book, you just need to make a note of that wherever you donate, just so I know that that's the one you're after, because there's so many prizes to give. So I'll just go through a few more of this conspiracies in this book because it's kind of fun to walk down memory lane. We've got, I don't know what that one is. We have how TV is a hypnotic drug and a mind control agent. We have how jail is used as a, it's not even really a conspiracy anymore, but at the time it seemed like one, but how jail is used instead of giving people mental health support and therapy or counseling or whatever else. Basically the criminalization of mental illness. We've got prostitution, like the conspiracy to create prostitution basically, or the need for it, or, to force people into it. Or push people towards it. We have the conspiracy of religion, just that religion is, the opiate of the masses, the control system, and it often is used that way. We have how nuclear power is actually better for us than we're told, or a better energy source than we're told. Waco. Pan Am Flight 103. I don't even remember what that is. How the drug war is its own conspiracy. Ooh, how voting is not useful and it's all controlled. Like the evidence. This is all evidence-based, by the way. These aren't just like opinion pieces. This is like, here's this document, da 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 da. It's a pretty rad book. The Chinese are coming for us conspiracy. The Chinese coming for the whole world, really. I don't know what the secret war is. I don't know which war. The evidence that Osama bin Laden was not actually who they say he was. Blah, blah. September 11th. The Ludlow Massacre. There's so many of these I don't even remember. And then Gato, we've got the American education system as, the worst possible way to pretend to educate people ever. But a really good method of controlling people. So that's all in this. Everything you know is wrong. This book is rad. That alone. All these prizes are so cool. I hope you guys are excited. Okay, John Jacob says, everything you know is wrong is on Amazon. Ranging from $1 to $26. Okay, so I guess I don't have to have a price limit on it then. Anybody can get it. But I still love it. So I just haven't looked at it in so long that I forgot how rad it is. Going through it made me love it again. So just so you know, you're getting something valuable. Jeremy Harbin knows what's up. Jeremy Harbin also knows that mental illness is a spiritual issue. If only the masses could break their spell. Wouldn't that be nice? Yeah, it's interesting. Jeremy Harbin says maybe all negative emotions come from these entities, and it's definitely a possibility. At the very least, your negative emotion is helping to create the, maybe you want to call it like an egregore of that, you know what I mean? Like you're adding to that entity, whatever you're feeding it. So, because I don't necessarily want to go I don't feel comfortable going that far yet, but I admit that it could likely be true. And also, at the very least, when you're feeling these negative emotions and expressing them, you are adding to that thought form. You know what I mean? You're adding to that energy in the world, at least. And that can be negative. So we've got well, I don't know if anybody's done PayPal or rogue.locals.com yet and become a supporter, but we have at least one super chat tonight who gets in the drawing for the Compassion Fund. Our Compassion Fund, or I'm guessing, is at like $130. I think we have like 10 people in it so far, and we have those prizes that I've listed so far, and one more prize that I'm going to tell you about for the Compassion Fund, and then I'll try to stop talking about it. Jeff just bought the book on Amazon but still wants to donate. Well, thank you, Jeff. That's very kind of you. Feel free to do that in any of those ways. PayPal.me/Corey Sharman is the quick way to do PayPal donation. If you go to rogue.locals.com is my favorite way for you to donate right now, because if you become a supporter, you're also then a member of that group. There are already perks to being in that group right now. If you're a supporter in the Rogue group on locals.com, right now you have the opportunity, anybody can do it, as many people as want to can do it, to get a free service from me. It's a spiritual service that I can give to people. It's generally costs people between $30 to $75. And I'm giving it for free to any supporter, even if it's at a $2 level. So it's like a ridiculous deal. I don't know why I'm being this crazy, but basically I really want this Compassion Fund to be big enough to help people in need who need it at the time that they need it. So so if you go to rogue.locals.com and if you become a supporter, you will see that deal, that offer where I'm giving people, and I might leave that one open a little bit longer than the Compassion Fund. The Compassion Fund closes tonight. But I might leave that offer up for a little bit, like I said, for people who just want to go be supporters, and it doesn't have to do with the Compassion Fund. Yay, Jeff, thank you so much. $20 to the Compassion Fund. Jeff, is there a specific prize that you are interested in winning? And thank you so much for that love. I'm super excited to be able to help people in our community. So just let me know, Jeff, if there is a specific prize so I can note it here for you to be able to get what you want. And I'll go through the prizes again at the end. Thank you, Jeff, to show just so quickly, because I know I've taken my time about it this time around. But we also have A People's History of American Empire by Howard Zinn. I recognize that not a lot of people agree with this point of view, but it is interesting either way. And Howard Zinn is a fascinating author. What's also cool is that this is a graphic novel, so especially if you're doing homeschooling, you have history, or you just want your kids into history, or you're into history, again, even if you don't like his sort of take on things, it's still assessment of historical activity, and done in this graphic way. It's really cool, actually. I was a history teacher, so this was one of my favorite things to have around the classroom. And so I kind of like hope that it goes to somebody who has like a little homeschooler, so they can do a history. This would be like a 11th or 12th grade. I mean, you could do it in middle school for sure. Like middle school kids can definitely digest this, especially in this graphic form. But the way that the American school system would do this, this would be like 11th, 12th grade content. So yes. Yeah. Well, that'd be half the fun, Jeff, is going through and seeing how much of this is a lie. Like that's how I taught history at the high school level, because I can't teach it any other way, being me. But I'm like, here's the text and here's the things, here's how they want you to see it. So let's actually look at the primary documents and see how much of this seems like bullshit. So I think that's in itself a great lesson in the consumption of media, and, you know, the ability to ascertain the truth and the ability to assess materials and their validity and logic. Like it's a huge lesson in itself. But if anybody's interested in this, A People's History of American Empire, then donate right now and just let me know that this is the one that you're interested in. You can just say Zinn or American Empire or whatever you want to say. So you can, again, do that at paypal.me/Corey Sharman if you like PayPaling. You can do that at rogue.locals.com, which is my favorite way. Again, I want more and more people to get into that group. I want more and more people to interact there. I want more and more people to get the access to the things that I'm going to be doing there. I'm basically trying to move everything over there. I'll get more into that in a minute. But if you go become a supporter there at the $10 a month or higher, then you can also be in the Compassion Fund. That money will go to the Compassion Fund for that month. And then you will also be in for all of these drawings. So go do that. You get, that's like 5 things you get at once just for $10 a month. So again, to go through the prizes in reverse this time, we got the People's History graphic novel. We've got the Badass Disinfo book. We've got the 2 copies, so 2 different people could win Greatest Forgiveness. We have the Emerge Orgonite plaque with the lily. And we have the Orgonite earrings. It's like a 2-for-1 right there. And those are all the things that are going to be given away. I'm going to select all of these people tomorrow. I'm probably going to do a live stream to do it and actually show you the selection happening live if people are into it. And either way, I'll let you guys know who wins tomorrow. So, yeah, history is always at the very least given to us from a certain perspective. And that's one of the things that I like about Howard Zinn's People's History is it's from a very specific perspective. And it's often the perspective that we're not shown in our mainstream history books. You and I know that there's like a 3rd, 4th, 5th, 6th, and 7th perspective to look through that haven't been presented hardly at all. But, you know, this is more like along the lines of obviously the mainstream-ish view. Still off the side of the mainstream, but yeah. I'm glad you're enjoying the live stream, Jeremy, and everyone else who is enjoying it. I'm enjoying it too. So yeah, that's all the prizes you can win. And I can't emphasize enough, those prizes alone and them getting shipped to you, there is none that would come to you that would be less than a $20 value. I'd say the average value here is like $40. That's what I'm going to guess. Nah, maybe I'm overshooting it. Maybe 30. At least 25. And you're getting it for whatever you donate. And right now the average donation, I think, would be about $30. So you guys are pretty cool. Value for value. That's how it should be. The average value of the prizes going out should be the same as the average value of the donations coming in. I really appreciate it. I know not everyone feels like they have a lot to give. But I bet everybody has at least a little bit to donate, and I appreciate that. And the people who are going to receive that from you and from me and from the community, they're going to be really very happy that they have that to fall back on. But you know how it feels when somebody, when you really need something and somebody just comes through out of just kindness and compassion and gives you that thing you need that you didn't think you were going to be able to get. Like, that's how you're going to make someone feel. That's a beautiful thing. That goes a long way. We always like think about like the ripples of the actions that you make go out, and you don't know where they end. They go out forever. You're just adding that to the field and that ripple, that vibration, like that's out there now. So this is a very tangible way to be a part of that, a very tangible way to support the people in your community and to help where you can. And again, even if you don't feel like you can, you know, have all that much to give, you have like a little bit you could probably do, and that's really cool. So thank you to those people who have already participated. I'm going to keep reminding you guys that you can do that throughout the episode, but that is, again, through rogue.locals.com, through paypal.me/Corey Sharman, or through Super Chats right here. All those things for the Compassion Fund. Last day to do it. Thank you to those of you who have done it so far. It's really, really, really touching to see. But I want to go back to locals really quick, and I want to, can I show it to you? Let me see. I think I can. For a second, it's going to look weird. Oh, it's not. Hold up. This is cool. Can I do that? Wait, what? That's not what I wanted you to see. Okay, let's try again. Turn it off. Stop sharing screen. Start sharing screen. There we go. Oh, nice. Perfect. So This is the Rogue community on rogue.locals.com. I will share it with you in the chat. Where'd the chat go? There you go. You can, I don't know if I messed the link up or not, but anyways, you can go there and check it out. It's free to join. It's free to make a profile. It's free to join the Rogue Ways group. You also can join a bunch of other groups. There's other stuff going on there. There's a bunch of people on here who are slightly famous or whatever. I don't know. I haven't paid too much attention to them. But what's cool is this has all the effectiveness of Facebook and, you know, Twitter and like all these social media things, because you can come on here and, like I said, make your free profile, talk to your friends, comment on your friends' stuff. That's all free. And then if you want to join the Rogue group specifically, that's also free. And then to comment or interact with polls or anything like that, you do have to be a supporter, but the supporter level is like $2. And I'm going to say my average listener here and my average watcher here has probably been around for like 2 or 3 years. I think a lot of you are like old school watchers and listeners. And I think you could probably afford $2 a month to come interact and get some special content. So hopefully that isn't a deterrent. Hopefully it's a celebration. You're like, yeah, I'll give Rogue Ways $2. Like that's a third of what most podcasts would charge me for any kind of subscription. So yeah, it's a cool place. I already have a bunch of content here, but like I said, I wanted to show you guys this offer that any supporter has available to them. Actually, where did it go? It's not here. Maybe I need to refresh. Oh, there it is. So it's this blessing offer here. So a blessing, when I give a blessing to people, this is usually, like I said, between $30 and $75, and it just depends on what the blessing is for and what the situation is and how we set it up and how we do it and all of those things. But that's the range. So at the very least, you'd be getting a $30 value. And this is just something I do because I love to serve people. My tarot readings are spiritual service. My guidance sessions are spiritual service. The classes that I teach are spiritual service. And these blessings are a spiritual service as well. And all of these things I would love to be able to do for free for everyone all the time. Like I would do this all day, every day for free if that's what I could do. But we all know that the modern world exists and that I have rent and, you know, gas to buy and food to eat. And I am by no means a flashy or rich person. I like to be able to support myself. And so these things do come with an honor fee, just, you know, because energy exchange should happen, right? And that's just the value of them. These are valued at what they take to, you know, keep up my spiritual levels, if you want to call them that, to keep up my attention and intention, and then to actually take the time to actually do the thing itself. And so I'm just emphasizing that only because you can get this for free right now. And this is not part of the Compassion Fund giveaway. This is its own perk for being a supporter in rogue.locals.com. So we have, I think, last time I looked, after I think only 3 or 4 days of the group existing, we have about 60 people in there. I think there's about 4 supporters so far. Hopefully there'll be more supporters soon and more people soon. And hopefully it's all people who find value in the type of content that Rogue Ways has and want to be a part of a community of people who can share ideas and content and support one another and connect with each other on a very genuine level. That's part of what is beautiful about what we do here. Our chats are always amazing and awesome, have the highest vibes and energies. The other groups that I've been running on Facebook have had the highest vibes and energies, and Facebook is a piece of shit now. So rogue.locals.com is the best possible alternative for everybody. So anyway, back to this blessing offer. If you would like a blessing, if you're having an issue of some kind, if there's a stumbling block in your life, if you have a health issue that has come up, if you have a mental health issue that has come up, if you have something that you're just worried about, if you know, are having financial struggles, like whatever the thing is, it doesn't matter what it is. If you are looking to try to get some clearage there to kind of peel off the darkness and let something else emerge in your life. If you want to just sort of like grease the wheels of your spiritual transformation of whatever this issue is, that's what a blessing is for, is to bring light into that space and to bring love and energy into whatever it is that you need it. So I am very excited to offer this to people. I really hope people take advantage of it. It's a beautiful thing. It's a beautiful process, and it's basically free to you right now. Like, again, becoming a supporter, the lowest level is $2 a month. You can give more. You can definitely contribute if you find value in Rogue Ways and in what I do and you want to support that. You can give as much as you want. It's awesome. But $2 is it, and you can get this for free. So you do have to be able to be a supporter to comment on this post or to message me about this offer and to get this blessing basically for free. So, and all I'm really asking for in return is a description when you start. Say like, here's the problem I'm having. Here's like on a scale of 0 to 10, how bad it sort of seems or feels to me. And then after the blessing, to get some feedback on how that changed and how it got better. That is all I really ask. And even that, I mean, if you like can't or refuse to do that, like you can still have the blessing. So, so that's one thing I wanted to draw your attention to in the locals.com community. So let's just go back a second, because you can get like 5 things at once right now. If you go to rogue.locals.com right now and you become a supporter, that money goes into the Compassion Fund, period. Whether you support at the $2 level or the $500 level, that goes into the Compassion Fund. For this month, this goes into the Compassion Fund. Also, no matter what level you support at, you get to get this free blessing. That's for you. You can do it for someone else as long as we have their permission. But that's your gift that you get just for being a member of the community. And if you do it at a $10 a month or higher level, then you get one of the prizes from the Compassion Fund, or you get entered into. And right now, yeah, I guess we have a little bit less prize. But I also haven't even said this yet. 100% of people who donate to the Compassion Fund get something. It might not be one of these prizes that are really cool, but it's going to be something. So there you go. I'll stop talking about rogue.locals.com now. I promise. How do I turn this off again? There we go. So there you go. That's my spiel. I really will try to stop talking about it now, but I'm so excited about it, as you guys can tell, and I hope that you're all already over there, already on rogue.locals.com and already checking it out. If you're one of my Subscribestar people, I'm also going to eventually try to entice you over at the same level and get same gifts or same perks and stuff, but just so we can have it all in one spot and get more of a community feel going on, more interaction going on. Let's see. We got Sergio in the house. What's up, Sergio? Sergio. We've got Jeff says, I'm fairly new. I found you when you interviewed Sage of Quay. And that's fairly new. It's not too long ago. That's awesome that you are still here and that you felt like contributing. I love it. Thank you so much, Jeff. Jeremy also is new and came in after seeing me on Tinfoil Hat. Whoop, whoop. That was rad. Hopefully I'll be back there sometime. We were going to do a live stream. I don't know. We're all over the place. Jeremy tries to watch every live stream. Thank you. I appreciate it. Jeff, I'm a contractor. I just dislocated my toe. See, you get a blessing for your toe. There's like nothing too big or too small for a blessing to take place. And people who get these blessings are pretty impressed. I'm just saying, because I think anybody can be like, oh, blessings to you. And you're like, thanks. It feels good for a second. But there's also an actual method and way of doing blessings where real energy comes to you and you can feel it and it transforms things in your life. And I can't guarantee any certain outcome, obviously. But you know, things are good. So I hope that you go take advantage of that, Jeff. You can go become a supporter. Even though you just donated, also you could go become a supporter, even at $2 a month, and get that blessing for free. So I think you'll be happy you did for your toe's sake. And if you have something bigger, you can do that as well. Again, there's nothing too big or too small. Oh, I just had another prize. If we have enough people to give away this many prizes, I think we already succeeded that. But We also have this Tao meditation series. It's old school, clearly, right? It's audiobooks on CD, but you can rip these and put them on your audio device, whether you use your phone or you have some other MP3 player that you use when you're working out or whatever you do, and have some meditation options, which is cool. If you want this, let me know. There's another gift. And like I said, 100% of people are going to get something. 100% of people are going to get something. No matter who donates, what amount, everybody gets something. So thanks, Sergio. Glad you're enjoying the show. Jeremy, it takes belief. It not only takes belief, but it takes consent, right? So I can't just go around giving blessings. I wish I could. Like, I am serious. I would just do it all day, every day. But you can't. It's just like the darkness needs our consent to come into our life. We need consent for the good as well. And it's it's good. You wouldn't want it any other way. You wouldn't want things to just be able to spiritually affect you without your consent. But it's also like a shame in that way, because I wish I could just give all these blessings all the time for free. But I hope you come give me your consent and take this gift and become a supporter at Locals. rogue.locals.com. So I wanted to tell you the Facebook story. I know I told a bit before, so I'll recap that and then I'll add the bit that happened today. And this is part of why I'm done with Facebook, and this is part of why I'm pushing towards rogue.locals.com. You know, over the 10 plus years that I've been on Facebook, the whole time, 100% of the time, there's been people in my ear, people in the social realm, conspiracy theorists and critical thinkers who have said, nobody should be on Facebook. It's literally the CIA. They're collecting all this data. They're using it against you, blah, blah. And I've known that the whole time. You've maybe known that the whole time. We've taken this calculated, like, you know, at some point after your phone's been tapped for years and like you've been messed with in all of these ways, you're like, it's not like they don't know anything about me. Like, why would I try to hide it? You know? And I've talked to Steve at Slow News Day podcast has talked about also that, like, sure, they know everything, but you want to at least slow them down. And I get that. And I think that's very highly laudable. It's like, nice job, right? My whole thing in using social media from the beginning was, I'm going to try to share as much truth as I can, wake as many people up as I can, at least get people to think here and there, and do that kind of content. And of course, I also share like pictures of my lunch, because I'm a vapid human at some level too. But you know, that was my goal all along. And so I've always been like that. And that's been drag for some people, and it's been enlightening for some people. And I get some people who are like, why are you always so angry at it? I'm like, I'm not, you just read it that way. But, or like, why are you always so down about everything? I'm like, I'm not. That's just how you see conspiracy theories and open-minded thinking, I guess. But I also get people who will message me sometimes and say, like, thank you so much. Like, over the years, you've shared all this stuff and it's really made me think about things. And I've been like, wow, like, it actually helps. Like, that's cool to know that my efforts weren't for nothing, you know? And that's been my whole thing. And I've always said, you know, years ago we got, I don't even remember the first alternative to Facebook, honestly, but I went there and I made profiles and I tried to get people there and I tried to connect and nobody did. And I was like, well, I'm not going to just talk to no one. So I gave it up. And then there was Ello eventually. I don't know if you remember Ello. I did the same thing. I was like, everybody go to Ello. Nobody did. I'm like, okay. And then we got like whatever. And then we got Minds. And Minds seemed like really cool. People are going to go to Minds. Oh, more people are there. And then nobody really went. And some people have made cool things there. I'm not saying they're worthless. I'm just saying, like, my communities didn't shift over there. And then we got MeWe, and some of my community went to MeWe. We have an Eyes Open group on MeWe. Some people were somewhat active sometimes, and not all the people there. Also, the MeWe interface kind of like it's just not that effective and or efficient. And they want to charge you for some things. And same with Minds and whatever. And all these platforms have some drawbacks, and mostly that there's not a lot of people there. And you hope that they're not going to be censorship ridden, right? But my whole point is there's never really been like a viable alternative. Then lately, as I told you something about it, my profile on Facebook got banned again, this time for Literally no reason. They didn't give me a reason at all. There's not a post or a comment that they pointed to. They just said I was banned. So I couldn't even, when they do say this comment or this post or whatever, you can contest it. You can send it back to them and they have to review it or whatever. I couldn't even do that because they didn't even have that option. They didn't even have anything that I supposedly did wrong. They're just, turned it off. This was towards the beginning of the more recent purge. And so this was happening to everyone, as you well know by now. And I created a second profile, as I've told you. I used a different email address, a different name, different picture, whatever. I have VPN, so IP addresses change, I think, like every hour, whatever. That my IP address is harder to track. I logged in, I made my profile. Within 24 hours, that one had... Oh, now I'm not remembering. I think within, maybe it was 3 days. Whatever it was, a very short period of time, that one had also then gotten banned for 30 days, literally for no reason. I barely even used it. I can't use it now. Also, when I signed up for that one, even though it was a different email address, they were sending emails about that account to my old profile's email. So I have 2 separate emails for them, and they were sending them to the other one. And it was like an intimidation factor. It was like we know who you are. We know this profile is also you, and we're going to show you that we know by sending it to your other Facebook's email. And I'm like, ooh, scary. Like, I didn't care, but it was just one of those things where it's like, here's them. If you showed a very normal mainstream person that, they wouldn't even really believe you. And so, it was one of those types of things where I'm like, I know what you're doing. You know what you're doing. We all know what we're doing, and they're trying to intimidate me, basically. And of course it didn't work. Like, I still kept using it, but then they sent emails about my new account to an email address that was associated with neither account, and which not any human being still, nobody knows it. I've never used it for any reason ever. I've never given it to any human being ever. The people, my website host would know it. That's it. So, like, clearly it's out there. Like, if a really good hacker found it, or the government, like, would know it, but no one else knows it. So again, an intimidation tactic, right? They're sending emails to an email no one has about my new Facebook profile. I'm like, okay, I get it. You want me to feel scared, or like, I'm not scared. So then they just banned the profile. Right? So first they were trying to like scare me out of using it, I guess. Like, I don't even know what the fuck that was supposed to do. It didn't do anything. And then, so they just had to ban me again for no reason. I'm not like being like, poor me, whatever. I'm just pointing out like how fucked up Facebook has gotten. We all already know, besides that purging that they're doing, besides banning people and intimidating people and using emails that they shouldn't know, besides all of that tomfoolery, they also, this, if you use Facebook, if you're out there listening to this and you use Facebook, they suppress you too. You make comments and posts that like nobody sees for no good reason. It's not that nobody will like them or comment on them. It's that nobody's seeing them. We all know that. Like, I've like polled my friends, like, have you even seen this post? And they're all like, no, I didn't even know you posted anything in a week. And I'm like, yeah, like, however many hundreds of people and nobody sees it. Like, we know that they're doing that. So even if you're still there and not banned, you're being suppressed. You're not allowed to say certain things. You type a word and your comment is instantly reported. Like, you're being suppressed. I know you know that. I knew that for years too. I'm just now at the point where I can't use it anyway. And I'm happy to leave it. They're purging so many more people every single day. Like on Twitter today, I saw people who have never even been banned before try to log into their accounts and they say your account has been deleted. Like, can you imagine that? Just your whole life is in that, and that's what you do, and all your friends are connected there, and they just deleted it without warning, without ever having banned you. Like, that's where they're at now. So if it hasn't happened to you yet, I guess consider yourself lucky. Congratulations. And just know that that's what's happening. So massive amounts of people are already being pushed out of there. And I would have used to have said, like, let's fight back. Let's not let them win. Let's, like, make more profiles and let's whatever. And I'm just at the point where I'm like, fine, well, I'm going to go somewhere where people want me and where I can be supported and also support people who I think are probably have a good amount of integrity. Dave Rubin, who does locals, is a seemingly pretty decent guy. I am sure that the black pilled will say that he's CIA or a shill or whatever. He still seems like a dude who makes good business choices and doesn't want to censor people. And so far, it seems like censorship is not happening there. So I'd just much rather give my money to him than Zuckerberg and to give my efforts to some place that isn't going to randomly delete me for absolutely no reason at all, as opposed to one who will. So that's happening. Here's one more bit about Facebook that is so annoying and stupid and not important at all, but just like hilariously dumb. So just to fuck with me, I do this thing where I sell objects for other people that they don't have time to sell or whatever, and it's just like a little sort of side thing that I do. And so I have all these marketplace listings, and I have them in New York, and I have them here, and I have them wherever. And I never tell them, I don't know how much experience you have with Marketplace, but when you take a listing off of Marketplace, they ask you, have you sold this? And I always say no, because it's none of their business. And they want to know if you've sold it on there. And I'm sure they want to do that for tax purposes. And I'm like, no, I haven't sold it, even though I have. So they know, though, which things I've sold and which things I haven't. And sometimes I don't get to deleting the post right away. Well, when I got deleted off Facebook or banned or whatever, you can no longer mess with your Marketplace listings. And so I went to, you can't delete them or anything. So I had sold a few things that I hadn't deleted yet, and then I got banned. Okay. So before I sold these things, they were up there for months, and no one ever messaged me about them. And as a conspiracy-minded person who's been messed with a lot in these ways, I just assume it's because Facebook specifically doesn't want me to sell things, and so they don't show my post to people, even if they're searching for that thing in that area. So nobody had messaged me about these things almost at all for months. And then all of a sudden, the day I get banned, like 2 different things that I had just finally sold that I hadn't yet deleted, people started messaging me about them every single day. Like I could show you my phone. I just have like all these messages for those specific items. It's a stupid thing, but they were like, haha, you're banned and we know that you sold these and this is going to be really annoying because now you also know that we weren't showing people before and we are showing people now that you can't do anything about it. Like it's so, the level of fuckery is so ridiculous. Think about how much time they put into this stupid mindlessness. Like it's so annoying and dumb. But oh, Jeremy makes a good point. You're not gonna be able to read the whole thing on the screen, but I'll throw it up there anyway. Jeremy says, when I started experiencing things like this, like what I just described, at first I thought it was the government was playing a part in it, and after years I don't believe that they are as much, and I thought and believe that it's very much mostly spiritual. I am not in disagreement with you. There is much of this that the things that are dark and occluded and nefarious in the government are very much intertwined with the things that are dark and nefarious and occluded that try to harm us. And so part of it is just that, right? They're of the same nature. They're the same thing, really. They're just manifesting in slightly different ways. So there's that to it. But also I think what you're saying is that literally some of these electronic issues are spiritual. And I think that that's very possible. But the Facebook thing, we know that they're suppressing people and all of this too. So like a little bit of both. Jeff rightly points out it's the digital book burning. It is the barn wall. And that's absolutely true as well. Modern day book burnings look like YouTube channels being deleted, Facebook pages being deleted, people being locked out of their Facebook, even though they know for sure they know the password, and things like this. So they're definitely doing that to us. But yeah, no matter whether you're on YouTube, Twitter, Facebook, or any of these like mainstream social media networks, we are being suppressed and messed with. And again, for like the 1,000th time, people have been like, oh, you think you're so big that you would get messed with. Like, no, it doesn't take being big to get messed with. It takes being honest and going against the mainstream to get messed with. And it's actually very easy, especially if it's of a spiritual nature. It's very easy to get messed with. I don't want to say that to scare you. I want to say that to mean that these entities don't have a lot of barriers. And the algorithms and AI and supercomputers and quantum computing and all these things make it pretty easy to mess with a lot of people at once. But yeah, so Facebook is ridiculous. So I also had this thing where I'm like, okay, so last time I got a ban, I was like, whatever, I guess I won't use Facebook for 30 days, like big deal. I came back after 30 days and did the same thing I always did. But now I'm like, well, that wasn't even that long ago. There's another 30-day ban, this time for literally no reason. There's nothing I did wrong. So when I go back, if I went back, I'd just be like waiting here, like, when do I get back in Facebook? And then I'd get back in and I'd post like nothing for no reason that would had nothing bad in it. And then they'd just ban me again. So I'd just be like constantly spending my whole life waiting around for Facebook to decide that I'm good enough or something. Like, I'm not down with that. I'd rather go somewhere like rogue.locals.com and get all those benefits that I told you guys about and build a rad community there. You know, I have a meditation community on Facebook and I have the Eyes Open community on Facebook, and they're both pretty awesome. They both have pretty, really loving, great people in them who are thoughtful and intellectual and open-minded and just an amazing group of people. And I really would like to recreate that on rogue.locals.com. I'm going to run meditations there, guided meditations there for people who want to participate in that. So it's going to be like a merging of the meditation group, the Rogue group, and the Eyes Open group all in one place. And so I'll do a lot of the types of things that I do in all of those. It'll be really cool, honestly. I really hope people are seeing the value in that. And I really hope that people are seeing the value that I have been giving for years without really asking for anything at all, and just decide that now is the time to support. And so if you're listening there on the podcast, or you're watching here on the live stream, or you're watching this after the live stream's over, I really want you right now, you who is listening to this and watching this right now, to really ask yourself, like, have I gotten value from this? Yeah, I have. And if you have, please come give back, at least by being a member at rogue.locals.com at the $2 level. So do that now. Jeff bookmarked it. Gonna check it out later. Thanks, Jeff. One more time, typing it into the chat, rogue.locals.com. PayPal.me/Corey Sharman if you want to be the last people in the Compassion Fund giveaway on this happy Halloween, this happy Samhain, this the allegedly thinnest day of the year of the veils, and our blue moon, and the full moon, obviously, it's what a blue moon is. All of that right now. Oh, what a great day. Yes, Jeremy says the government definitely knows more than us when it comes to the paranormal. Well, I know what you mean. They know more than the average person. They know more than they let on. They know more than we're conditioned to believe. But there's definitely many groups of people who know at least as much or more. Some good, some bad. So there's, you know what I mean? Don't lose hope. There's definitely people who are on the other side, so to speak. Yes, and do they have computers to hurt us and give us emotions and feelings? They do have that. They have voice to skull technology. They have all kinds of things that they can do from a distance. But I'm of the understanding, and my experience, that can also be stopped with a spiritual remedy. You know, or doing your own spiritual work and practices can prevent or stop that, as far as I'm concerned. I don't think that everybody would. Materialists definitely wouldn't agree with that. But Logan Yates just joined. Whoop whoop. Logan, now you are able to get the blessing. Go comment on that post if you want one. And if you did it at a high enough level of support, then you're also in the running for the Compassion Fund. And now you also get access to everything in there. Right now, everything is just open to everybody. I'm not making content just for supporters yet, but I will eventually be doing that, and eventually one of these episodes every week is going to be behind that supporter paywall. But again, it's $2. It's like nothing. And genuinely, if it is too much for you but you want that content, this is why we have the Compassion Fund. If you genuinely want to be in rogue.locals.com and you do not have $2 a month, well, first of all, you can be in there for free. But if you desperately want to get past that paywall and get the, few things that are available only to supporters, and you don't have that $2, then just let me know. That's what the Compassion Fund is for. It's for so we can help each other out. So don't let that stop you. 100 Days at a Time is here. What's up? Nice to see you. Let's see. What else did I want to talk to you guys about? Yeah, I guess I wanted to remind people that this whole show started from this realization that basically the original Eyes Open people and myself had, which is that community and our connection to one another is first and foremost. It's the essence of everything. It's the whole purpose. It's the whole point. So, we're on these social media platforms and there's all this interaction that's very surface, very vapid. A lot of it's very negative. Um, and we realize like you actually can have connection here and you can actually have community here and you can actually do really profoundly transformative things. And we saw people in our group go from alcoholics to sober. We saw people go from, self-abuse to healthy, like just by us all being genuine and being together and being connected. And that can happen anywhere with the people. It's not even the right people, it's just people who are being genuine and connected, period. That's all it is. And so I say that's all it is. It actually takes some effort. It takes you showing up and you being present and you being genuine and you being maybe a little bit vulnerable from time to time. But amazing things are accomplished, and I really value that. And it's the type of thing that I live for. I love it. That's why I was and am still very sad that I won't be going back to Facebook because that community exists there. But that's also why I hope all of those people come to rogue.locals.com, and I hope that you come join there as well. Whether you've been a part of that in the past or just want to start now, like I want this group to grow and be bigger and bigger, and we can share more and more positivity with each other without ignoring the darkness. We all have darkness, and we don't want to ignore that. Me too, Jeremy. Absolutely. He's saying that people would think that it's crazy to think that, the government or entities can kind of affect us or whatever. But again, I've seen it literally in people's auras. He says he's watched a spirit fly into a people's head and talk for them. I've also seen that. We're not crazy. You're not crazy. This is actually things that happen. It just sucks that our society doesn't acknowledge it and treats it like it must be insane or something. It is insane. Like, you're like, holy shit, that's real. Like, what the fuck is going on right now? But it is real and it does happen. But anytime I bring something like that up, I always want to remind people that anybody has spiritual protection who wants it. If you don't feel like you understand that or want it, then that's part of my job and my role. That's why I'm here. And I'm happy to help you learn it. Happy to give you blessings. I'm happy to do tarot readings with you. I'm happy to do guidance sessions with you. I have classes that I teach, I have any of those things. So you're not alone. So just reach out. But yeah, those things are definitely real. We have Ugur Kaya Duman in D Live. What's up? Nice to see you. And yes, hello to you too. And yeah, Facebook is a cesspool. I agree with you. 100 days at a time. That is true. Cesspool of bullshit. So one more time, you want basically free orgone earrings or orgone plaque. If you want the greatest forgiveness book, if you want everything you know is wrong, if you want the People's History graphic novel, or if you want the Tao to meditation CDs, any of those things, then just donate today. Right now is the last day. It's the last day for the Compassion Fund. And anybody who donates to Compassion Fund gets added to those drawings. And one more time, the donation location is paypal.me/Corey Sharman. And you can also go to rogue.locals.com and become a subscriber at the $10 level or higher in order to fuck you too, Urgur. Have a good night. In order to enter into this drawing. And then you can also super chat right now, and all the super chats also go into the Compassion Fund today. Those are the ways. I think we got 2 more donations here. I think we got some more on PayPal. I hope to see that we got more subscribers in rogue.locals.com. And all of those people, I'm excited to find out who wins what. Again, if you have a specific thing you want to win, just let me know, because I'll put you in the drawing only for that. If that makes sense. But yeah, I think that's about all I wanted to cover. I'm so excited to see how this community grows. You know, the last community also started small like this, but pretty quick growing. Again, I think it's only been up there for 3 or 4 days and we already have like 60 or so people in there. So super cool to see. I'm very excited to see where it goes. I'm very happy to do this type of work with you guys. I really hope that again, I'm pushing the Compassion Fund, but I'm also pushing the support at Rogue Locals, especially because I want you to have access to that blessing. So, like I said, I'm going to leave the blessing option open for at least a week, right? Because I just announced it today. So I think that'd be fair to give people 7 days to decide if they want to go support at rogue.locals.com and get not just that blessing right now, but whatever else comes in the months ahead, you know, and all the time that we'll have together. So yeah, I'm going to leave that open for a while. But the Compassion Fund ends tonight. You want to donate to that fund, help people out, help the people who want to come subscribe but can't, help the people who really need some, you know, spiritual one-on-one but don't have the funds for it, or help people in our community, you know, just like in the Eyes Open community on Facebook, we'd have people come in sometimes and be like, you guys, I'm screwed. Like, I just don't have, I need this thing. I don't have it. Like, I don't know what to do. And we'd all be like, what can we do? Like, let's try to fundraise. Let's, you know, what do you do? Let's support your business or buy your art or whatever it is. And just a really good community. And so that's what we want over here at rogue.locals.com as well. If you need something, I hope you let us know and I hope we can help you get it. So that might be enough for today. Jeff says, hopefully I'll find real life truthers in my area. I love the internet friends, but real life people are the best. Well, here's another thing. If you're part of the rogue.locals.com community, there were always meetups with the Eyes Open people. People had meetups all over the country. I myself organized many meetups. We had people come from Australia to some of the meetups. Like, we're a people who like to meet in person as well. So not only that, but people who were in the group would be like, what, you're in my area? Like, rad, let's hook up or meet up. So that happens in a good enough community that's full of people who are actually, you know what I mean? Like, again, genuine and connected. Like, we all want to meet up. So you're absolutely right. And I hope that you come connect for that reason as well. I haven't done a meetup in a while, but I should do one. I almost did one this summer and it fell apart because of COVID. We had like a bunch of people. We were going to meet at an eco-shamanic retreat. We were going to have a whole weekend. We had Michael Wan. We were going to do all this stuff. That sort of thing is going to happen from time to time too. And anybody who's in a group like Eyes Open was, or like rogue.locals.com is becoming, are going to have first access and dibs to any of those types of things. It's not really going to be for people who aren't in there because we don't really want to meet up with people we don't know. You know what I mean? So anyway, I totally feel you. I'm the same way. Oh, I feel bad for the person in D Live. They need a hug. Spiritual hugs to you. But yes, I love that. There, but for the grace of God go I. That's absolutely true. Good timing too. Jeff, you're the second person today to say that you were at Flattoberfest and had a great time. That's exactly right? These meetups are really essential because it is so nice to remember. I mean, part of the reason why we love these communities, even though they're online, is because it reminds us, like, we're not alone. Other people see the same thing we see. They feel the same way we do. It's very reassuring in that way. But then when we get to meet up, we got to like, remember, like, this is a real connection. It's not just online. Like, this can all seem very fake sometimes, or very like trivial or unimportant. And that's kind of the whole point I've been trying to make this whole time, is that we're actually all real people here. We actually are really connected if we want to be. And the more we're connected, the more good it does for all of us. So yeah, I'm going to stop talking now. I love you guys. It's always awesome to hang out with you. I really hope you're going to take advantage of all of these cool offers we have going on. And like a lot of providers have been reminding people lately, the best thing you can always do for someone who you enjoy their content is share their content. So if you want to share this with somebody that you think would enjoy it, I would, of course, appreciate it. And I bet that they would too. So just, you know, think about that. What's up, Chuck Landman? You coming in just at the end here. And John says, oh, thank you, John. That's very sweet. I appreciate that. John says, Lindsay gives from her loving heart without expecting good karma or other benefits. Thank you for seeing me. I do love it if I can, get some love and support back, but you're absolutely right that I don't do it for that reason. I do it because I love to be a force of good in this otherwise very dark world. Oh, which reminds me, bright winter. It's going to be a bright winter. We're all imagining a bright winter. We're putting our energy into a bright winter. We're imagining ourselves healthy and well. We're imagining ourselves in abundance, so much abundance that we can share it with others. And we're visualizing that specifically to create that energy in our lives when we know so many others are visualizing something exactly opposite. We're going to counteract that, at least for ourselves. And we're going to keep visualizing that, so that we can have so much of that visualization, so much of that energy comes from us, again, that we can let that spill out over to other people and share that bright winter vibe. If you want to use the hashtag bright winter on Twitter, if you want to use the hashtag bright winter on Twitter, that'd be cool. I'm using it. I'm trying to get people on board just to imagine it. Just do the visualization each day of a bright winter. A bright, happy, abundant, healthy winter. That's all. These are the types of meditations I lead in my meditation group, and they're the type of meditations I'm going to continue leading in rogue.locals.com. But don't forget the bright winter. That's another thing we got going on. Exactly. I'm hooking up, titter. Every little cell in my body is healthy. Every little cell in my body is well. I love that mantra, 100 days at a time. And another thing you can add to that if you want to is visualizing every single cell in your body with golden light in it. So I actually visualize this little golden ball in every single cell, and it's spinning. And so my whole body is just like a mass of little spinning golden, which is actually exactly what it is. It's not even, I'm just visualizing it like it actually is. Isn't that funny? All right. It was a pleasure. I love you guys. Thank you for being here. Please donate to the Compassion Fund. Please go to rogue.locals.com. And I will see you on Sunday. That's tomorrow night, 7 p.m. Mountain, for some episode. I'm not sure yet what it'll be. But I'll see you there. And until I see you, travel well, aim for balance, and always look inside first. Mwah.
They'll blanket you in Wi-Fi and profit off the radiation. Congregation collecting the people for that Satan. I keeps it blazing, cause I can read between the lines. I ain't blind, we unwind what they're really saying. Genetically modify what you're tasting. Don't need that college promise, so now you live up in your mom's basement. Redesign time so your mind is always wasted. Programmed to crave the basics. Keep the beta in stasis. Pay the state, kid. You're in debt for being born. Messengers are more than just the price for being warned. Don't be alarmed, disconnect from their machinations. Stop subscribing to the folly of own nations. Bone breaking ain't the answer, cause they seek the ownership of souls. Spread the seeds and watch them grow. Break the chains of control. Break the chains of control.